It all started when I was at a mall for an audition for a dance show. There were so many girls there to audition, so I followed the crowd into what looked like to be a shop being renovated, all taped and covered. Inside, I was instantly transported into a studio, big lights, big speakers, a real set, ready to shoot a music video. There were hundreds of girls, just waiting to audition. When it was finally my turn, they made us stand in rows of 10, then we had to copy a girl in front of us dancing, trying our best to memorize and mimic her every move. When we were done, they ushered us out, handing us each a little paper as we exited the door. As I'm out the door, I walked aside and peered down at the paper. Appearance 0.5, Technique 4, Movement 3, 7.5 out of 10. A little harsh, I thought to myself. After we waited for about a half an hour or so, a small man appears, saying in a husky voice, "If you got higher than 5 out of 10, please follow me." We all look at each other, and one by one we each start walking in a huddle, towards where the man disappeared to. When we entered the other room, they lined us up, in our scores, from highest to lowest. The same short man, in his too husky for his size voice, says, "Have a drink, you all made it through round 1. With a clap of his hands, waiters appeared with drinks on trays, all the girls looking really relieved, grabbing their drinks, giggling and chatting away. As the tray passed, I grabbed one for myself, swallowing it, like it's the last glass of water on earth. Sweet, I thought, then suddenly, girls around me start dropping like fruit falling from a tree, everyone with a loud floor-pounding thump. My legs start to feel like jelly, then, thump. And then everything goes black. I wake up in a car, head pounding. Through teary eyes, I see we are in one of those van types, with big sliding door. There's 2 guys in the front seats driving, next to me is 2 other girls on the same seat, I'm in the middle. I nudge the girl on the window's side, she groans loudly. Not wanting to pull attention, I try the girl on the door's side, but no reaction. Feeling my hands are free, I feel around to find we are only held down by the seatbelt itself. I undo my seatbelt, making as little movement possible. Taking a chance, I lean over to try the door. It's going to take a little more to open the door, so I unbuckle the girl by the door's seatbelt, so I could get a better grip and be closer. When I pulled on the handle, the door slid open, me still holding the handle. I slid with the door and squished my face into the girl's armpit. The guys noticed when the door opened. The one in the passenger side leaned back, trying to grab me and close the door at the same time. I could feel the car slowing down, so I climbed over this girl, trying to get out. As I was about to jump out the door, suddenly she wakes up screaming. It catches him off guard, which gives me enough time to take tar road to the face. Riddled in pain, I get up. The van is down the road but has stopped, and is now reversing. I turn and start running towards the houses along the road, and jump over someone's back wall. Assuming they probably saw me jump the wall, I run past the first house. This is when I see this is more of a complex of small houses. Each little house looks the same, with a garden here and there, at the back a little wall to hide the rubbish bins, and in front a room type that leads to the front door. All the houses had lights on, that left most areas well lit. At one of the houses, by the front door, there was a big tree planted in a pot, covering the corner just enough. Thankfully, I'm a small-built girl, I could easily hide there. Seeing car lights, I panicked, then quickly ran to hide in my spot. I fit just perfectly, even though I was wearing a beige sweater. Thankfully, it kind of helped me blend in with the wall. I sat in that spot, not moving, not wanting to risk the chance. Shivering, pain creeping in all over, until I passed out. I woke up in a bed that felt like a cloud, and linens that smelled like old people. Looking around me, I definitely knew I was in an old person's house, with doilies on the tables, with checkered blanket draped over the chair and an old records player in the corner. I sat up in the bed, when I heard a soft knock at the door. I was greeted by the biggest smile on an old man's face you have ever seen. Friendly and caring, he instantly made me feel safe. I explained to him what happened, while he was tending to my wounds. All bandaged up, he gave me soup to eat, with bread he baked himself. I must have slept forever, because before I knew it, it was night time again. In the morning, the old man asked me to follow him if I could. He had something he wanted to show me. In pain, but not wanting to be rude, I got up and followed him. He led me to his back door onto a little walkway that led to a igloo-shaped structure. Inside was pillows and blankets and bedding on one side, and the other some boxes and what looks like an old TV. He told me that I can stay in here when people come over, so no one finds out I'm there. I agreed, afraid someone might come looking for me. All was well for a while. I even started fixing up that place, made it comfortable. When one evening, he hastily chased me to the back room, that's what we called it, saying to be very quiet and if someone came to look I should hide. Scared I did like he asked me. He finally came to fetch me when the people left, but there was a concern edged all over his face. He explained that people did come looking for me, some guys, but the problem is, his busy bee neighbor caught wind that I was staying there, and she called those guys. Hurriedly he ushered me upstairs, where I never go, into a small room, with a big pot on a fire. He tosses in a bunch of stuff, grabbing little bottles from shelves on the wall, throws in a few more logs into the fire, and stirred. It smelled amazing, thinking maybe it was some kind of soup. He took a cup from the shelf, scooped up some soup and holds it out to me. He looks at me and says, "Taste?" Handing me the cup, as I bring it to my lips, he watches me closely. I take a sip, finding it delicious. I drink the whole lot. He smiled at me, took another cup full and headed downstairs. I sat at the table while he prepared dinner, bringing some of his bread and the brew in a bowl. I ate hungrily. After dinner he excused himself and went straight to bed. I stayed and cleaned up, like the custom we got used to, took a shower and turned in myself. I just fell asleep, when a loud bang at the front door woke me up. I can hear the whispering of two men. Curiosity got the better of me, so I got out of bed and crept closer. Not wanting to be seen, I kept as low and quiet as possible. I couldn't exactly hear what was being said, but I could make out parts of what they were talking about, something about a plan, and is it in effect, then some more hushed whispers and the man left. After he left I went back to bed. I fell asleep soon after, listening for any unfamiliar sounds. I woke up in the morning, with the blanket over my head. When I pulled it off, I could feel my hair standing in all directions. The bed seemed awfully big today, looking at where the nightstand is supposed to be. I felt the urge to stretch my back out, so I leaned forward, stretched my arms out in front of me. When I opened my eyes, I saw paws, gray kitty paws. My first thought was, how this cat get in here? Then realization hit me. Shocked, I had to see myself. I jumped off the bed, and I was only 2 inches from the ground, so I strolled over to the mirror. What I saw confused every brain cell I had. I had turned into a gray fluffy tabby cat, with dark eyebrow markings and black striped lines between my ears, and big fluffy tail. What the hell? I ran towards the door, but with no thumbs, it was useless. The window. I thought, leaping ever so gracefully from the ground onto a box and then to the next and into the windowsill. I have never felt so elegant and sturdy on my feet. That's probably because I have 4 now. Looking out the window, I saw the old man walking towards the door. When he came inside, I was ready. I jumped on him, claws drawn. But he caught me, with such little effort. I clawed at him, but he just grabbed my paws. "Calm down," he said, with the softest tone of delight oozing from his voice. "Let me explain," he added, then gently put me down on one of the boxes. I wanted to scream and swear at him, but I couldn't. He probably wouldn't even understand me. I'm a cat after all, and a fat one at that. So I just sat down on the box and looked at him, waiting for him to give me his explanation for trapping me in a cat's body. He started, "By day a cat, by night a human, only to unwithill when true enemies fall. That's what this brew has done unto you." That's when I snapped. With all my kitty wit, I went meowing away, jumping up and down, stumping my feet. I was throwing a kitty tantrum. Suddenly the box collapsed and I fell in, on top of some old pictures. I could hear the old man laughing. Embarrassed, I peered my head out, only to see him walking out the door, still chuckling. I jumped out the box and followed him into the house, where I found him sitting at the table. I jumped onto the table, facing him, just staring at him. That's when the old man starts talking again. You will be a cat only during the day, at night you will be you again. I had you sleeping in the back room to make it seem real, so I can say that I found a stray cat. I just jumped off the table and went to my room, laying around all day. I am a cat after all, just waiting for the sun to set, waiting to be able to talk, waiting to get some answers. When the sun finally set, I felt a curling pain running up my spine. The pain was so intense, like a moth tearing out of its holding. I closed my eyes, suppressing a scream. As suddenly as the pain started, it disappeared, and I was back to human form. Luckily I was in my room, because I was naked after after covering myself, I marched myself straight to the old man, who was sitting on a chair, looking out a window. I stood in front of him, looking him dead in the eyes. So I must endure that pain twice a day? I asked, fuming with anger. He looked up at me, and said, things will only stop when the person that hurt you meets his maker. Then he grinned. Like a scolded child, I sat myself down on the nearest chair, and carefully questioned him on everything. Turns out, he's an old wizard, like Merlin, and his friend brought the herbs to change me into what my conscience represents, and only when the guy that hurt me dies, then I will take true form. I got used to the pain from shifting. It's like waxing, it only hurts until you know what to expect. So for now, I am living as an old man's cat, still waiting for the sun to set, and the day to arrive that I wake up, still in human form.